Welcome back, guys, to the GSL Code S. Teases and Artoses here, bromancing over the greatest game on earth, Starcraft 2. We saw MC and MMA dominate.
We did. But who cares about that? Because now we're on to the new group, Tasteless.
I don't care about that group anymore. I'm done with that group.
That group actually means nothing next to the might that is the one man in this group.
NesTea. He's so good.
If you threw NesTea into Mordor, he'd still be fine.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
He'd be like, whoa.
Did you know?
It's a little hot.
Did you know that in the original Batman movie, they originally cast NesTea as Joker, but when Batman threw him into the acid, he was fine, so they had to recast it as Jack Nicholson? Did you know that?
I didn't
know that. It's a true fact.
Wow. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
So, this group, of course, NesTea, the favorite to get out of this group, but there are many other good players as well, which we will go into momentarily here. And, look, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We already had some great games. It's going to be back here, day one of a new and exciting season. So far, no upsets.
Yeah. Yeah, MMA and MC, that's pretty legit coming out of Group A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point, Tasteless.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to you and viewers.
They all agree with
people
me.
watch, you're like, yeah,
I speak for them. Don't worry, I speak for them.
All right.
That's fine. It's fine.
Great. This is the GSL Code S, the biggest, bestest esports show on the planet. The best players, the best casters, the best production, and we love sharing our passions with you guys here. It is just a lot of fun. So for those of you, maybe you're doing barcraft, grab another beer, or maybe you're just an alcoholic alone at home in the dark and it's 7 in the morning, grab another beer. Whatever you got to do. Because these games are going to be a lot of fun.
They are, Tasteless. This is a really great group, actually. This has got some of my favorite up-and-comings and has, of course, NesTea. So.
Let's take a look at those players now as we will introduce them. Group B, NesTea, PSC, Lucira, and...
Now, watch this, Tasteless. They're actually... What you're about to see is an optical illusion caused by NesTea. He doesn't want to destroy his opponent, so that was actually not his handshake. Notice how he shook his hand after NesTea shook it.
He had to get the
even the optical illusion of NesTea shaking her hand will almost break it. He can't help it. He's just so strong.
He's just that good.
But he can hold an egg without crushing it.
And here is SC, up against ASD. Or no, what am I saying? Lucira against ASD.
Yeah.
We're off to a bad start here.
No, it's fine.
They're going to go into their respective booths, and this is going to be a very, very interesting group. So we got a bunch of heavyweights.
Who will get
second?
second?
Who's that guy, Artosis?
Well, that's NesTea.
That's NesTea. Look at that.
Did you know that every cell in NesTea's body is a stem cell, and that's why he cannot be sick?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I want to take his fingernail clippings and live forever.
That's what they would do for you.
That's what they would do.
If there was anything strong enough to clip his fingernails, which there isn't.
Yeah, I'd have to get like emerald choppers or whatever.
He just wills his fingernails.
What's sharper? Are emeralds or diamonds sharper?
I guess it matters how much you sharpen them, but I would say diamonds.
One is actually considerably sharper than the other, but I don't know.
They use a diamond drill bit on like super drills that go really deep.
So then it's probably diamonds. Maybe emeralds are actually the soft one.
When they try to find NesTea's nest of gems underground, they use a diamond tip drill.
Well, when NesTea isn't playing StarCraft, he turns into a dragon and sits on top of all of his GSL cash.
That's right.
And Nerd Knights come over there and they fail to kill him.
MVP with his sword tries to be ahead NesTea. It just doesn't work. It's an ultimate battle, though.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. Now, here's SC, and I do think out of all the Terrans out there that have a shot against NesTea, this guy's one of them. Yeah. I love his SC pushes, the ones that start up and never, ever end.
I know. He'll do like 7 pushes in a row and just kick ass the whole time, like lose 6 pushes and 7 push kills you. But you can't play that way against NesTea so easily.
Yeah.
You know what? By the way, I'm so glad to see SC back. He's had some health problems recently, with his lung collapsing twice. How painful is that? I bet that's the most painful thing in the whole world. Imagine for a minute. I see you holding your chest as I'm saying it.
I'm holding my bosom as you talk about this. Because I'm a classy guy, so I call it my bosom. Now, NesTea against SC, and NesTea is obviously always the favorite. But SC could do it. I won't count him out. Here, our map will be Belshire Beach. That is going to be the new one, so you don't want to bring your sunscreen. You don't want to bring the beach ball. All right, and don't bring
You
the
know
towel.
what? Actually, to be perfectly frank, Tasteless, people make that mistake and think you can't get sunburned during the winter. You absolutely can. And if it's sunny out, you should still wear sunscreen if you're going to be outside for long periods.
SC returning to Codas after 2 seasons. For the stronger SC is NesTea a hope or a hardship? Well, he's a hardship. I got it. Done. Solved.
Yeah.
Answered. Hardship.
Match point.
Well, look
away.
at NesTea cracking his fingers. Look at this, man.
Look at NesTea.
Look at this guy go. It's like rolling up his sleeves.
He's getting himself ready.
He looked like he was like making a pizza and then making a clay sculpture and then he was putting on.
Maybe in an alternate dimension that he's actually from, yes.
Maybe. Or NesTea is not the greatest player, but in fact the greatest cook.
He's probably the greatest cook here as well.
Probably, actually.
I bet you he makes the sickest sunabuchige.
Oh, my God.
I bet you his kimbops are rolled just to perfection.
They're rolled perfectly. It's a perfect circle. It's like even Leonardo couldn't draw that.
He makes spherical kimbops. Perfect spheres.
All right. The game is loading, so get ready for one of the best Zergs in the world to go against one of the best Terrans out there. NesTea against SC. Here in the GSL Codas, casted by Tasteless and Artosis, the casting Archon, here in Seoul, Korea. In the upper left, we have our Zerg player. The myth, the legend, Professor T.
I'm NesTea.
You wish you were
You
NesTea.
wish you were NesTea, Kerrigan. Just back off.
I know. You know why they didn't put NesTea into the Zerg storyline in Wings of Liberty?
Why?
Because they wouldn't get any expansions. Zerg would have
Yeah,
won.
they would have won. Over here in the bottom right.
MVP SC.
BPSC.
Battle of the Alphabet.
It's like 5 letters, man. There's only 26 letters. You got to calm down, SC. You know what?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's actually sending an SCV out right away, Artosis.
Well, that's smart. He's got a proxy of barracks because... Oh, wait. No, he's going to make a command center, isn't he?
Is he?
I think
What's
so.
he doing? All right, barracks now.
Oh, never mind.
Is he
Maybe
going to take the...
a single proxy barracks?
Maybe.
It's a little bit peculiar. Well, you know what?
It's going to be a proxy.
Let's talk about what we actually need to talk about here, Tasteless.
Sure.
NesTea needs to change his ID to BestTea.
Ooh. Bestie. I am Bestie. He could be like, I'm the best cup of NesTea. All right. Proxy barracks over here. And he's got his fingers crossed. And he says, I hope you win hatchery first, but guess what? Spawning pool first. Still, though, a rush like this can work.
Here's the thing. NesTea actually, he's touching the mouse the entire time. So any vibrations that go through the internet to his PC of SCVs moving, he feels them, he knows where they are, he knows exactly what's going on. You actually can't hide things from him. You would have to put him in a gravityless, airless booth floating in the sky and make him play Starcraft from there to have any chance of sneaking a barracks on him.
Yeah, I don't see this working. I get to see the anger as NesTea realizes 2 barracks have come, and one of the lenses in his glasses just gets a crack in it.
That's right.
With his pure anger.
His
All right.
diamond glasses that can't be cracked by anything other than his own anger. If NesTea fought himself, it would create a paradox that would suck our universe into a black hole.
A black hole, yeah, that's what I was going to say. All right. He's moving out, and he has to suspect something's going on here. 2 SCVs instead of 1? Where'd that other SCV come from? Well, I know it's the hidden barracks.
Well, he's making nothing but Zerglings right now, making a spine crawler, making additional queens. He's ready for this before anyone else in the world would be. A ton of drones coming up. NesTea ain't screwing around, SC!
And here
You better mean it!
Oh, he tried to
NesTea.
He is definitely going to take out those Marines. He needs to get that SCV making the bunker. I'm a bit surprised.
He probably wants the bunker to finish. He's like, waste your money. Waste your time.
Well,
but don't waste mine, SC.
NesTea is actually out of control.
Look at that.
If we
He
got
has
a shot of
spine
him,
up,
rabies
it's
would be
like-
coming out of his mouth.
Rabies?
Rabies.
There are no rabies in Korea, but NesTea has rabies.
He's got rabies.
He doesn't spread it, though, because he cares about Korea.
Now,
is where he makes most of his money.
I don't know Artosis. I mean, I don't know where the Terran goes from here.
I don't think he does either.
I
think he doesn't have much of a plan against NesTea except to keep all inning. I mean, he's got 2 gases. He's making a factory, a very late factory. Maybe go 2-port Banshee from here and just make... I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Because NesTea is basically just going to play
Why
perfect.
did he make 3 Marines there and then float the barracks away?
I think he doesn't have a true plan.
I think he has no plan.
He has no backup. He's like, all right, hopefully I kill NesTea with that. And then his practice partner, DRG, from his team MVP, his new team, says, then what do you do if he stops? He's like, well, he's NesTea. If he stops, I lose all, LOL. And there you go. It is going to 2-port
another
Banshee.
all-in.
It's smart. This is a really smart move by him.
Okay, so these Marines, this is definitely not well thought out.
Well, NesTea basically used the Force because he's a Jedi Master, and he felt that there was a disturbance in this area, so sent his Yoda Zerglings to find it.
Here's what he does. He actually, abuses the Force, too much. He never, ever actually gets up out of his computer chair. He, just uses the Force to, call his toothbrush and his toothpaste over.
Well, you know what? He goes so far that when we see him walking around, he's not using his muscles. He's using the Force to activate all his muscles and his blood vessels and make it look like he's walking while he floats. He's actually... That's why his muscles haven't atrophied. Because he just uses the Force for everything.
When he goes to a soup kitchen to help out somebody who, has a weak jaw, he uses the Force to make them chew their food and move their tongue around.
That's true.
All right, so 2-port Banshee, here's the thing. If NesTea doesn't prepare for this second part of the all-in, it's very difficult to stop 2-port Banshee because the Banshees get there, they're usually about 4 at once.
Yep. And
Zerg just doesn't have time to react. I mean, they mow down the Queen or Queens.
He's got to be wondering what in tarnation is going on here. This is a very hard situation to predict. He does have the Evolution Chamber. Now, how many spores will he make? Because, again, the 4 Banshees that you just mentioned, it gets out of hand almost immediately. It's like there's 4 Banshees in your base, and if they start killing Queens, then suddenly you just lose the game. This is the smartest all-in to use against a player like NesTea because it's actually extremely hard to stop no matter what skill level does it to the Zerg.
Oh, look at this. Marines are so guarding that location where the Banshees could be spotted.
Now, we do have a lair on the way. We have no spores yet, only 3 Queens. A lot of Zerglings are being made just in case. He senses another all-in coming, of course.
He seems to think it's going to be a ground all-in of some sort. That's why he has 3 Spore Crawlers and a multitude of Zerglings. Oh, look at this baller.
Yeah, he's moving it out.
But he's got to be careful because those are, that's a lot of area to defend. Obviously, losing the Spine Crawler is not the end of the world. Now, will he go into these?
Oh, my God. He might save up to 6 Banshees.
Oh,
now,
man.
This is the most...
Oh, no, he's going to move out.
Okay, that is the right timing.
Did the Overlord see it? Did the Overlord see it?
Yeah. Oh, he caught the edge. Now, did NesTea actually see that? That is the important part right now. Yes, spores are going up. Will he make more Queens? 4 spores are going up. NesTea, tasteless. Nest.
Oh, look at that. He's so good. He even knows to pull his Spine Crawlers back so they can all be covered by everything. All right, the Queens are ready. Overseer on the way just in
3
case there's
spores
cloak.
being made right there. He's going to pull up his additional Queen. He's just trying to buy time.
All
he
more
needs to do is
Spore
buy a little
Crawlers.
time.
Nothing but Spore Crawlers being planted here.
Now, this hatchery may, in fact, go down. It is a possibility, but Spore Crawlers moving up, using those Queens to buy the Spore Crawlers time to actually burrow. Losing a lot of Queens here, is making another one. Spire is on the way.
Right, now he can at the hatchery, actually.
That's right. This is the beautiful thing about an all-in like this, Tasteless.
Okay.
More and more Banshees are incoming.
The hatchery is getting low, and it will go down.
That is a ton of Banshees. 6 Banshees trying to kill off spores. They do kill off one. Looks like another hatchery may die.
Oh my God, this could very easily be GG. Well,
you are right. It's definitely a possibility here. There's a huge all-in that's going to follow this up.
Spire on the way, but we'll look at the position of it. There's no way that's going to finish, and it doesn't.
This is pretty bad, man.
Is he actually making 2 Spires?
Nope, he just started another Spire in between a bunch of his
well, I don't know, man. That's a lot of Banshees.
That is a lot. He's picking them off, and only 3 Banshees left.
The layer over here.
It's a very difficult all-in to deal with. Realistically, he should have gone Hydralisk Den. It builds a lot quicker than Spire. That's normally what you're going to want to do because Banshees get so out of control so quickly.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a Banshee at the natural right now, picking off the Spine Crawlers.
Oh, a push coming up here. Look, I think NesTea's going to lose. It's going to be very difficult. If there's a Zergo could come back, it would be. Whoa, wait a minute. All the Banshees are gone, except for that one.
He even has a Viking up there, adding insult to injury. 2 Spires are on the way right now. One in the natural, one in the
But, you know, with only one hatchery.
Yeah, this push is basically impossible to hold. He's making as many Zerglings as he can. He has a ton of larvae out in his natural that I wish he had been spending that as opposed to...
Yeah, he does still have 2 Spires making here.
Yeah. He needs to actually cancel one in the natural right now.
Yeah, ASAP.
I think he's too concentrated at the moment, and he looks like he's just going to lose these units and probably have to just GG.
Well, he might be able to make some mutas as the Spire finishes, and then there won't be as many Marines, but gosh, I don't know. I think NesTea might be dead.
Yeah, he's definitely looking at. But the Spire is coming up, and 14 Lings on the way.
He's just trying to buy time right now.
Yeah. It's too bad that he let the Spire finish. That could have been 2 more mutas.
Yeah, I know. I think he just missed that. I think
SC is expanding during all this, realizing that, hey, you know, I'm in such good shape. I should just make a command center. And up comes everything.
The mutas are not out yet. And gosh, I mean, I just cannot see anybody coming back. There's one muta. All right, so the Viking's going to go down. The 2 mutas now can take out the Banshee and the Siege Tank, but by now NesTea has been knocked back into the Cretaceous period.
Well, NesTea's been there before. He is an eternal being.
That is true. And so now we're going to see if 4 mutas can engineer a comeback. I don't think they can. I want to say they can, guys, but I'm trying to be honest as a commentator.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is dead. He's in such a terrible spot. It's 29 supply to 78. He's got 14 drones against 37 SCVs, 2 base against 1 base. Every single thing in the entire universe is stacked against NesTea right now, but, you know, that's how NesTea likes it.
Gosh, it's kind of sad, you know, NesTea got all in like that, and you got to be ready for stuff like that if you're NesTea, because nobody really wants to play you in a standard game. Maybe MVP, a few other people, but everybody else is just going to say, all right, take a risk, because sometimes in a risk situation like this, it'll pay off in a high reward.
Well, you know, he's got good creep spread.
Yeah, I guess he does have a lot of creep.
Yeah, man, he's got really good creep spread.
He's just going to keep making mutas and hope he can harass his way out of here. You 41 supply to 88, and I think this is going to be the push of death here.
Oh, it definitely is. There's no possibility of NesTea holding this. He's got a handful of mutas against a ton of Marines. Like, an attack move actually wins the game here. And NesTea knows it. He will be leaving pretty soon. Pretty soon here, Tasteless.
All right, so he's going to try to do a counter with the mutas.
And in fact, SC turns around.
Wow.
This is showing the...
This is showing actually how scary NesTea is. That these mutas will actually get his entire army to pull around.
Yeah, that's like such a big army that, like, literally you can just pop Marines out of barracks and stop those mutas. It's like, well, sorry.
Well, it's like, look, the conditions of losing are you have to lose all your buildings. You can just go over there and destroy that pretty tiny base for NesTea, and that's going to be
Remember the way mutas could be used in StarCraft 1 micro-wise?
Yeah.
If that exists in StarCraft 2, NesTea could win from here still.
Yeah, actually, theoretically, yeah. You could use the muta grouping trick with the Overlord in the group. So NesTea is going to try.
He's actually sieging up outside a one base Zerg.
God, NesTea's so good. He just took out
This is how scary he is, man. And we should be seeing GG in a moment. NesTea probably losing to give us more of a show. He wants second in the group instead of first. GG.
GG. Well, let me tell you something. NesTea, we'll get a shot of him soon. He's not going to be good about that. SC's like, all right, well, I got through that one. That's good.
Well, you know, about that all in, it's the easiest to execute, hardest to stop. You really have to do very specific things as Zerg to stop it. And the fact that he went proxy barracks and failed to rush completely with no gas and then went into 2 gas, 2-port Banshee, that's something very hard to anticipate as a Zerg player.
Right.
And so that is basically what happened there. I mean, we're not actually, just to back off from the hilarious fanboy NesTea stuff that we do, what SC did was actually extremely easy, and it was just basically flipping a coin. It's like, will NesTea randomly have a ton of queens?
When the Banshees get there, if you don't have enough to stop it right then, you're
overwhelmed immediately.
And if you notice, he pretty much had enough, but it wasn't positioned right. So he had spore crawlers everywhere, and he's thinking, all right, I'll get the spore crawlers up, no problem. But the bottom right side of that expansion hatchery was exposed, so he puts the Banshees there. Targets down the hatchery. When the spore crawlers try to burrow, he targets that down, and from there it's GG.
That was literally the one all-in NesTea wasn't prepared for. He was actually prepared for every single other all-in in the entire game. And, that's the one that got him, so that's fine.
There you go.
He'll be coming out of the group. Don't worry, guys. We'll have to see, though, who he will be fighting, because we're going to have Lucira against ASD next.
Lucira against ASD. I might give a slight favorite to Lucira. Would you agree?
It's close for me, because ASD is one of these players I really have a lot of stock in going in the future.
Yeah. Oh, I do as well, but Lucira is so established.
No, absolutely. I mean, Lucira so far has shown he's a better player, but ASD, I just keep watching him, and every time I see him, I'm like, this guy's coming up, man. This guy's going to be big. He's going to be one of these solid Terrans that's always around.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at our players. Lucira, the Barnell nerd. I guess it's sort of what a Barnell sounds like. Catching mouse nerds in a field. Actually, I'm not going to do it.
That's a Halloween Barnell.
Yeah, well, it's Halloween time, man. He's a spooky, scary nerd.
Well, he's got his Green Goblin headset on.
Yeah, he does. Look at that headset. That is fancy.
Actually, that's a Green Lantern headset made by NesTea.
Oh, wow, because he has the ring, right?
No.
The ring is
actually
made from parts of it?
All the rings get power from NesTea.
Ah, I see.
He's the power source for the Green Lantern rings.
Lucira, the Barnell Zerg, is deadly. He is fast. He has a much more aggressive style than NesTea's. NesTea's much more passive, patient. Lucira knows how to mix in a little bit more harassment. And, of course, he's been mentored by NesTea. Now, here we go to his opponent, ASD, an up-and-coming, very scary Terran, ranked 55th, but take that with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, maybe a spoon of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon.
Well, a spoon of sugar helps the medicine go down, cases.
Does it?
Yeah, just a spoonful.
It helps you digest the medicine or helps it go down?
Helps it go down.
Well, that's right. You can't swallow pills.
I can't, but you're actually missing my joke. It's like a Mary Poppins song. Just a spoonful of sugar.
I'm sorry.
Helps the medicine go down.
I just want to make fun of you because you can't swallow pills.
Yeah, I have a terrible gag reflex, actually.
Not when you're drinking, actually. Put those away, Artosis. All right. Here it is. A Terran against a Zerg. Will another Zerg go down? We'll see soon. We're moments away from starting this game. Our map is Tal'Darim Ultra. It's a big, wide-open map. It's one of these maps where it's tough for Terran to get the 5th base. And, yeah, I mean, should be a pretty exciting and interesting game.
Indeed, it should. Tasteless. I always like to watch Lucira play on this map. It really fits his style very well.
Yeah,
very
it really
big,
does.
Lets him run around with his units a lot, get the most out of him, like he always does, being the sweatshop Zerg that he is. Putting his units to work 24/7, paying
now,
a minimum wage.
One thing to know here is that Lucira is notorious for losing his hatchery.
Yeah, do you think a bunker rush will happen?
I would. Hell, I'd bunker rush Lucira on this map. I mean, unlike NesTea, Lucira tends to always lose that hatchery, and then the game goes on for 30 minutes, and then he loses later. So hopefully Lucira will be able to overcome the Terran challenge named FXO ASD. We will find out soon. The game has finished loading. The workers are being split. The strategies are being executed. We're going to see who's going to win pretty soon here with Lucira, a Zerg, against ASD, a Terran, here at the GSL Codex.